welcome to today's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we have got something very unusual for you today. If you remember back to the start of April, I sent Mark a puzzle by Demono, which I thought was quite a good April Fool. It was a 4x4 Sudoku. Well, today the testers have sent me a 6x6 to have a go at. It's by Hawk Avatar. And I think that this is a debut on the channel for Hawk Avatar. The puzzle is called 6 out of 10 for reasons that will become apparent when I read the instructions. It's a fascinating idea, this. I don't know how often we'll do non-standard size Sudoku, and when we've done non-standard size, they've almost always been bigger than 9x9. But yeah, this should be an interesting, an unusual video, to say the least. I don't have any news for you today as well, so just an appeal really. If you enjoy the content of the channel, please do subscribe. We would really appreciate it. Hit that bell icon. Maybe consider becoming patrons of the channel over on Patreon and joining what is the best Sudoku club on earth. And I think that there are thousands and thousands of you who have done that, and thank you all for your support. We really do appreciate it. Now, what are the rules of 6 out of 10? Here they go. They are the following. This puzzle uses 6 of the digits 0 to 9. The solver must determine which 6. Place 1 copy of each digit in each row, column and box. So it's normal Sudoku once we've worked out what the digits we're meant to use are. Digits along thermometers increase from the bulb end. So this thermometer, what we've got to do is make sure we put a low digit at the start and then increase as we go up the thermometer, just as mercury would rise. As the temperature rises, so digits must rise in Sudoku thermometer land. Digits along an arrow, sum to the digit in that arrow's circle. So those 4 cells there, this is all going to get thrown out by the possibility of zeros. Yeah, but those 4 cells there have to add up to this circle. So if these were 1, 2, 3 and 1, then we would put 7 in the circle. That would be how that would work. Cells separated by a V contain digits summing to 5, so those 2 digits must sum to 5. All possible V's are given, so a negative constraint today. So that means that, let's say we worked out this cell was a 1. This cell now could not be a 4, and neither could this one, because if either of these was a 4, you'd have a domino that summed to 5, and there ought to be a V between the 2 cells. So that is how the rules work. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. Now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And I have to say, I can see something straight away here, which is quite exciting. That is a V. So this domino sums to 5, and it's pointing at this circle. So that circle is a 5, and that is therefore a 0. And we get, well, I suppose we know that 0 is therefore one of the 6 digits used in the puzzle straight away, which is interesting. Now 0 can't go on the top of a thermometer because we'd have to get into negative territory as we go down the thermometer, so there must be a 0 in one of those 2 cells. Now what else can we say here? Hang on a moment, let me just try and work out what's going on. We can, so is it, I was about to say, is it necessary that this 0-5 combination here go into this V here? I think it is, because of the negative constraint. Yeah, let's look at that. So this domino here, we've got to find a home for it in box 2, and it's clearly not in those 2 cells by Sudoku. Now if neither of the cells were in here, and remember, if one of them is in here, the other one must be as well, because it's a V domino, then they would go in there, but then there would need to be a V between the two cells, and there isn't. So actually that is a 0-5 combination. Yeah, I can actually see immediately how the negative constraint is a little bit interesting in this puzzle, because let's make that a blue domino. Well, because we now know this is blue, obviously, because we're, if this was 1, 4, 1, 4, that would also have to be a 4. So we've got blue things going on here. But look in this box now. If either of the blue cells went in here, the other one would also have to be blue. But but can you put a blue domino here? No, because there would need to be a V. So that needs to be a blue domino. One of the blue cells must now be on this domino, so they both must be in order to add up to 5. So that's a blue domino. So now we've sort of got a virtual blue pair in column 3. Okay, does that mean that? Yes, now look at column 1. And again, we can use the negative constraint. We know that none of those 3 cells are blue. Well, not negative constraint actually, but that means at least one of these 2 is blue. Therefore, they're both blue because, again, of the V. So we just have to... Okay, so this bulb is not a 0, is it? No, Simon, it isn't. That's what I hear you saying. Oh, and this 5 can just be placed. Once this V, we know it's not an orange V, we know the 5 can just be placed, so that's a 5. But that doesn't tell us, we know that this is a low digit because it's the lowest digit on the thermo, so it either goes 1, 4 or it goes 2, 3. Which means, no, it doesn't actually tell us anything about the nature of blueness. That square's got to be higher than 5, so that's 6, 7, 8, or 9. Oh, yeah, that's lovely. So let's label that cell green and ask where it goes in row 2, because it can't go in a 5 domino because it's at least a 6, so it goes there. This is very cool, isn't it? So now 5 is in one of those 2 cells by 6 by 6 Sudoku. One of these cells is blue. Ah, now hang on. Does that mean that green has to go in the bulb here? I'm not sure actually. It might do. But given this can be... Oh, no, it does actually. It does because... On this arrow, we've got 5, so we can't have 5 here. So in fact, that's disambiguated. If I looked at that arrow earlier, I would have spotted that. So probably we're going to be putting 0 in the bulb here. And we've got 5 in one of those 2 cells. But yeah, this can't be green because it's green is at least 6. And 6 plus 5 would make this an 11. And although we have lots and lots of options for digits in this puzzle, we don't have 11 as an option. So that's green. And that means this cell, right, so the last cell, the cell we haven't identified yet, which I'm going to label purple, although no, I don't really like that, I might use yellow. So the yellow digit is the difference between this V and this cell. So it's a 1, 2, 3 or 4. And therefore yellow goes here by Sudoku, so that's a 1, 2, 3 or 4. So we have got guests today, so apologies if you can hear more noise than sometimes. Now that must be 0 because we need a second orange in column 1. And we can now, there's probably loads of Sudoku we can do. Oh dear, that's a bit worrying. Green is not in the bulb here, so this is not that high a digit. I guess it's got 0. Okay, and we could have a second 0 on this arrow, so that might be how that works. We could go 0, 0, and then this could be a low digit. This is green, look. I'm quite looking forward to noting how this is all going to get disambiguated. That's a 1, 2, 3 or 4. It's not... I was about to say it's not a 1. Because you can't put 1 halfway up a thermo, but in this puzzle you can, because that can be a 0. Okay, so that's 0, 1, 2 or 3. Okay, so one of these is orange and one of these is yellow. So this is like an orange yellow. The oranges and lemons, so the bells of St. Clemens. That's what's going on there. I'm not sure if that means anything. Okay, so what have we got down here? We've got lemon and green. We've got lemon and lime there. Okay, so where are we meant to look? So those two digits are the same. Oh, I see. Look, we can colour the blues. That's quite cute. Yeah, where does... I think we can anyway. I'm going to start colouring the blues in. So if that's going to be the black version of the blue, we'll make that the purple version of the blue. So this now must be a black version of a blue. This must be a black version of a blue, which makes that a purple version of the blue. And that makes that a blue purple. And therefore it is not 5, because we know that 5 is orange. So that gets us a 5 there. It gets us a 5, well, yeah, that's lovely. Okay, so now can 5 go here? No, because if it did, this would have to be green, which it can't be, because green is the only digit in the puzzle higher than 5. So the 5 goes in the bulb of all places, which means that becomes a 5. So that's not a 5 anymore. So we've got to make these add up to 5. Maybe I can keep colouring. No, colouring of my blues has sort of ended there, I fear. Okay, but at least we learnt something about this digit. So one of these is orange, one of these is 1, 2, 3 or 4. So the combinations there are relatively replete. I need to work out, don't I? I'd like to know what green is, frankly. Green can still be as high as 9 or as low as 6. So what is it that's telling me this? It's going to be... Well, I know that digit, don't I? Because... Oh, no, I don't. This is... No, apologies, I definitely don't. I've got 2 blues, and I know this is an orange lemon. Whoops. But given I don't know what the lemon is, apart from it's relatively low, I don't think that's that helpful. Oh, is it negative constraint? Good grief. That's really, really clever. Right. So we know that this is either a 0, and if it's a 0, it gets repeated here. But that means that this domino would have to sum to 5. And that's impossible because there's no V there. It's also impossible actually because that would require this to be blue, which it can't be. So this is it's not possible that this is orange. So that must be lemon, that must be lemon, this must be the orange one. And therefore the orange one we know is the 0. And now we know the parity. This is really clever. I really like this. We know, sorry, it's all gone wrong. I want that not to be able to be 0. Right, and we know it's the same as this digit. Now, if we look here, we've got 2x, 2 of lemon plus blue equals 5. So we can get rid of loads of digits here. It can't be 4 or 3 because 2 times 3 is definitely more than 5. So we've either got double 2, and this is going to be a 1, or we've got double 1, and this is going to be a 3. And therefore that's got to have the alternate parity. So we now know a bit about parity across the blacks and the purples. And we also look at this. Now we can look at this arrow, can't we? Or can we? No, we can't. Oh, no, it's still not resolved. Oh, no, it's still, I don't think it is resolved. If it... Yeah, no, purple could exist in either position, and so could the black digit. Good grief. Okay, so all we've actually learned is that lemon... It's, oh, right, and that's putting pressure on this digit now, which has to be a 0 or a 1. Does that mean it is... It would actually be quite useful if it was a 1, so maybe I'm not sure what I'm hoping for this digit. Oh, green has been shortened in terms of its options. Look, 5 plus a 1 or a 2, so that's not able to be 8 or 9 anymore. Not sure how important that is. Is there a way to tell? So this is green and the 0. So the options for those squares are 0, 6, 7. This is lemon and green, so these are 1, 2, 6 and 7. This column needs a second blue in it, which must be there. but we can't colour these yet. So there's 2 blues in the bottom row, so this cell can't be blue. But we need a second blue in this column, so that cell is blue and is not 0. Wow, so that must be 1, and that must be 2, which means that we know that the odd blue digit is the black trimmed one, so the purple is the other one, so that's purple, that's 1. 2 goes into the lemon. And does that work? Yeah, that's working. So lemon must drop down here. This must be... Oh, we can work out what this is now because we've got all the 5, 7. 7 is green. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. 7, 0. I will do the colouring in a minute. 0 goes in the corner, and a 4 goes there, and a 4 and a 1. And that, I think, is the puzzle. Let's just do the oranges and the greens. So those 2 need to become pure green, and that one needs to become pure lemon. I suppose I could give the 4s their purple flashes, couldn't I? Let's do that. And then the 1s all need to become black flashes. And now I'll have missed something and people will get cross with me, but I think that is how to... Oh! Oh, sorry, I've made a mistake. Why have I made a mistake? 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. What have I done wrong here? It all seems to be working from a Sudoku perspective. I don't know. It could be that the software doesn't understand that I haven't put all the digits 1 to 6 in a 6x6 Sudoku. It could be that. I hope it is that, because I think I did that logically. What I'll have to do is I'll have to stop the video and then I will look at it in editing and convince myself as to whether it's right or wrong. If it's wrong, this video will never appear and this puzzle will unfortunately be lost, although I might recommend it to Mark actually, because it's definitely a good enough puzzle. It's really interesting. But if it's right, this video will still appear, and you'll know why. The software doesn't understand the fact that we've selected 6 out of the 10 digits. So Hawk Avatar, that was very clever indeed. To make a 6x6 interesting is not easy. And that was definitely interesting. We had that parity bit cropping up, which I thought was lovely. And I used the negative constraint quite profusely as well, which I enjoyed. It makes a nice change. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. Hopefully the puzzle's right, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.